Okay.
And apparently, according to vMix, we're live. We're live. We're live.
Yeah, we are.
We are?
Yes.
Yeah, we are. We are. Yes.
Where's that coming from?
Oh, who's got their volume up?
Oh, who's got their volume up?
My volume's down. Where's that coming from?
Who's got their volume up? My volume's down. Where's that coming from?
Oh, that's weird, Nev. Ah. Is that better?
Yeah. Turn
Is that better than that? Is that better now?
off. No, it's basically feeding back.
Ah, right. Okay, hold on.
It's basically feeding back.
Ah, right. Okay.
It's basically feeding back.
Right. What about now?
Right, what about now?
See if that's any better.
It's terrible.
No,
Okay.
terrible.
Okay.
Terrible.
We'll see what if that makes any difference.
See what if that makes any difference.
No. Oh dear.
No.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can, but there's still a horrific echo.
I can, but there's still a horrific echo. I can, but there's still a horrific echo.
What about now?
What about now?
Is that
Same.
any better? Still the same, yeah?
Still the same.
We'll try that one. See if that makes any difference.
We'll try that one. See if that makes any difference.
How about now?
How about now?
I still think we've got the same problem.
I still think we've got the same problem.
Because I'm hearing myself about 3 seconds after
Because I'm hearing myself about
speaking.
3 seconds after. Because I'm hearing myself about 3 seconds after. Because I'm hearing myself about 3 seconds after.
What would that be?
Because I'm hearing my. Because I'm hearing my.
I'm guessing that's not made any difference at all either.
I'm guessing that's not made any difference at all.
No.
No.
Shall we go off air and then try it?
Shall we
I
go
don't
off
know if
air?
I'll be able to solve it by going off there either. It's almost, where is that? It's feeding back from somewhere, which is the annoying thing.
It's feeding back from somewhere, which is the annoying thing.
It's not that.
It's not that.
Yeah, I can see what you mean there, but I can hear it myself.
Yeah, I can see what you mean there, but I can hear it myself.
But it's weird because I'm hearing it from you.
It's weird because I'm hearing it from you. It's weird because I'm hearing it from you. It's weird because I'm hearing it from you.
There's an endless loop going on, unfortunately.
There's an endless loop going on, unfortunately.
All right, Nev, you only tell me once.
All right, Nev, you only tell me once.
Right. That doesn't seem to have solved it either. Frustrating thing is, nothing has changed in here since last week.
Striking thing is, nothing has changed in here since last week. Striking thing is, nothing has changed in here since last week. Striking thing is, nothing has changed in here since last week. Striking thing is, nothing has changed in here since last week. Striking thing is, nothing has changed in here since
See if that works. See if that works. Can you still hear me, Nev?
Can you still hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me now?
Yeah.
I think this is something to do with the desk. I think, anyway. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, good idea.
Does it generate a new stream key? That's the only thing.
I don't think so. If I do that,
Okay.
it should show you on the screen now, on
Okay.
the YouTube feed. There we go. How's that? Are we back?
Yes, the caption's up.
And how's the audio on YouTube? That's the question.
Does it new stream key? That's... yes, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're in business.
Right, Nev.
Yes. Who is it? Mazuz says that APG are recording this evening, so perhaps they sabotaged our setup. That is very possible, Mazuz, and there will be questions asked. I can tell you.
Yes.
Does it generate a new stream key? Oh, hold on. Here we go again.
I don't think so. If I do that, it should show you on the screen.
Oh, no,
Oh.
it's doing it again.
On the YouTube feed.
Oh. You are what? It wasn't, now it is.
Are we back?
Yep.
It wasn't, now it is.
Yes, the caption's up.
And how's the audio on YouTube?
Dear.
It's weird because I can't hear it doing it now, my end.
That's the question.
Stream key, yes, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're in business.
Oh, what? I can hear that now.
Right now. You back?
Yep.
Oh.
Yes, the caption's up. So,
Let's try that. See if that makes any difference.
it's weird because I can't hear it doing it now, my end.
No.
Yes, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're in business. What? I can hear that now.
It's still bloody doing it, isn't it? I don't know. Oh. Has it stopped? Nev? Nev? Has it stopped?
Yes.
It has, isn't it?
Let's try that. See if that makes any difference. It's weird because I can't hear it doing it now, my end. No.
One last try of these buttons here. See if that makes any difference.
What? I can hear.
Is that better, Nev?
Well,
I don't know.
it is at the moment, but then it starts again.
So I'm still doing it then.
Has it stopped? Nev? Nev? Has it stopped?
Yes.
It has, isn't it?
Stream button's being hit.
Just make sure that we're on a graphic.
It is on a graphic.
Okay.
Let's see if that made any difference. Right, the graphics on the screen, Nev. Let's see what is going on in the world of YouTube. Right, how's that sounding at the minute?
Well, I can hear you okay.
Right, I can hear you fine. How is the audio on YouTube? Is anyone still there in the world of YouTube? Is that better? Can everyone hear us? We good, Nev?
I think we are.
Christ, I can't believe I've actually worked that out myself.
I'm not saying anything at the moment. I'm just waiting for the.
Oh, right, you're just sitting there waiting for the to come back again, yeah. Right, shall we? Right, let's do this, shall we, Nev?
I think we should, otherwise we'll lose the will to live.
Right, let's get the VT clock up, and we are cutting to the VT clock. The VT clock is running. Here we go.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Well, hello and welcome to episode number 538 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, we're all united in Spain. Ryanair saved some money, and what can you find in lost luggage? In the military this week, the RAF are saving money in a strange way, and the B-52s are back, and it's not in the Love Shack. Joining me this week, it's a short team this week. We're running out of hosts. It is, of course, the person who's been away for a while. He's got some stories to tell us. It is, of course, Neville Bounds. Hello, Nev.
No, here we are. Excitement on Plain Talking UK podcast. Yes, I've been away for a couple of weeks. All sorts of things. Firstly, I was at an event on the Wednesday before last. I can't remember where it was. I think it was down in Brighton at our office there. And then for the whole of last week, from Sunday through to Saturday, I was at the ISE show, the Integrated Systems Europe show in Barcelona, which is the big show we do every year. And I came back on Saturday. So, that's been quite a hectic time, to say the least. But of course, on Friday, just gone. Hang on, I've got noise again, Carlos.
Really?
Yeah. It's doing it again.
You're joking.
No, I'm serious.
Oh.
How's that sounding in a minute? Well, I can hear you okay. Right, I can hear you fine. How is the audio?
I can't believe it, Nev. How could it be fine for 5 minutes and then not?
Is that better? Can anyone hear us?
Oh dear, honestly.
Oh dear, honestly. Oh dear, honestly. Oh dear, honestly.
No. It's just unreal, isn't it?
Oh, you're just sitting there waiting for the minimums.
It's
Right, shall we? Right, let's do.
so it's still doing it, isn't it?
Right, let's get the BT clock up, and we are coming to the BT clock.
It is, isn't it? Well, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Right, it'll probably be to do with the mixer. So where's the mixer there? Where's that? Unpin.
I'm going to get a drink whilst you're doing that.
Carlos, what's that? That's not right. Right, how do we know when it's echoing or not?
We'd have to go live again. That's the only way we found out.
So that needs to be on there, there, and there. So try that. For some reason, your camera, was it just you that was echoing?
Nev said that he could hear. We were literally going on a loop, on an endless loop.
Doesn't sound like it's doing it now. Okay. Does it sound okay now, Nev?
Does that sound alright now, Nev, to you? I mean, you're.
I'm getting it twice.
You're getting it twice.
Oh, right.
Like a double echo.
And how about now?
That's better.
Right, so it would imply that we've got the wrong sources then.
From
I'm not sure. Yeah, so... okay.
This is all right, isn't it? The sound sources from here.
I assume so.
I did look at them, but...
Well, that was unlikely to cause... Yeah, zoom... no, so you're taking... Yeah, so that's where it's coming from. Because you're taking it from the desk. So what it needs to be is zoom input.
Right, okay.
So we go zoom input. Is that any better, Nev? Oh no, it's doing it. I can hear it.
Yeah.
But you can still hear us, I presume.
Yes, but it's just that double echo.
And what about now?
Same.
That's the TV, that one.
So you can still hear an echo now, yeah? So Nev's on that one there, yeah?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. How about now?
That's okay. Yeah.
Right. You got your pre-fade button pressed.
But I've never touched the bloody thing.
Well, no, but you have to put it on when you're talking to me when we do the radio. I think. Oh no, it's this one, isn't it? No.
Yeah, it's those ones, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And how about now? Oh no, there it is again.
Big old echo. Why do you think it started when we started to stream it, but it was okay just locally?
I don't know.
And then I think the other thing that was really weird was it was like YouTube had rewound, to being played back to us.
That I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that one.
No, really.
Oh, that's a pretty view there. Let's do that. That will help, won't it? Or is that on YouTube? That's on. Actually, I don't know where that is. Oh, I think it's now gone back live on YouTube.
No one's pressed live.
I have just now. I've just put the stream button. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are live.
Okay. I think we are anyway.
Hold on.
And
that is the YouTube feed of it, and that's great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just fire it up on your phone because I want to make sure the audio is working properly.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Oh, it is exciting. Oh, you can hear me. Oh, that's lovely. Who let that idiot out?
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. Nev's quite dominant. We need to turn him
That's
down.
because you're not near here.
Oh, is
why.
it? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you
All
move
right.
that up a little bit.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly try this.
Attention, this is the final call for British Airways Flight 475. Paging from house with Mr. Neville Bounds. Your seat 1A is waiting for you.
Your seat 1A is waiting for you, Mr. Bounds.
Nice.
There we go. Right. I think you're cooking with gas now.
How with all the technical issues, we've still got 11 people, well, 10 if you take me out of the mix, waiting.
They're very wonderful and patient
They're
people.
very loyal people.
All right. Okay. So you're ready to go, I think. So did you move these so that they were all
If you go on that, and
on
then
this
the
one here?
intros are in there.
Yeah, and they're all running from your local disk. Did you change them?
These are on the NAS drive still. I just
Yeah.
but the audio needs turned on for them, doesn't it?
They should. Is that not you've got a list here? Are you not using the list?
Again, I just do it manually because I had that before and I tried to do it and it was.
Okay, hang on. Well, you don't want that one anyway. Where's the? There we go. Hang on. Just trying to bring the list up. Right, NAS drive.
There we go. Live. That's it.
Okay.
And then upcoming. No, 3.8. That's it. 8,
Is that the current
3.8,
episode? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
And then
That one there.
that one.
Yeah. Okay. And then we just move that up. There we go. Okay. And we'll turn the audio on for that. I don't think that
So
has.
that's in that loaded. That's loaded in there now.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. So it's
clock
yeah.
and
How we do it in the
intro.
yeah.
So if you say that now, I won't have to do it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, you'll just have to change the
Change the file for the do.
And we don't want the mix audio because it has to automatically play, but don't automatically restart and don't automatically pause, so that when you move on, it will keep going. So we'll hit save on that.
Save, yeah.
If you go to the only thing I would say on this on your list, sorry, nearly there. I just want to make sure it works properly for you. So I downloaded them all to your computer, so you weren't putting strain on your network. So if you go to videos, PTUK, I put them all in there.
Themes, yeah.
So which one was that? What I mean, that's the opener, wasn't it? So we do that, and then we remove that. Okay, so that'll then run it from your computer rather than relying on the NAS drive. It's all right for little files, but when it's big files, that's why you were having a problem with John Jester's video, because it was a 600 meg file and you were trying to pull it
from the,
live from the NAS drive. Okay. So we go to this one. What am I trying to do here? That was the commercial news one, wasn't it? Yeah, hang on. Sorry.
Well, we'll get an hour show this week, Nev.
Squeeze in a little bit. I might suggest the outrageous thing of dropping the military, but
Oh, I was going to suggest that from the beginning.
you're right.
Let alone with any technical issues.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nev's terminal tantrums, that's short enough. We don't have to worry about that one. So we'll do the military. Not that that's relevant for today. It would seem. Mr. Warner will be mortified. What am I looking for? It's not like you, Carlos. Outrageous. And then what was it? Sorry, what was I doing? Military. There we go. What else have we got? We need the outro, don't we? End credits. That's right. End credits. Do, which I desperately need to do. And videos. No, because that's from the NAS drive. So we need it to not do it there we go. So hopefully what that'll mean then is you're not putting too much strain on your network then. Okay.
Saved. Right.
Saved. All right.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's see.
You understand? You sit there and do your thing. And we'll see if we can make it work. It's on Nev's camera at the moment.
It is. We need to adjust that slightly. Where are we? Where's the mouse gone? There it is. And opener. Reset, is that? Right, Nev, you ready?
Yeah, yes, I've been ready for the last 53 minutes, actually.
What's that?
Oh, that's the square thumbnail.
That's the square thumbnail. That's all that was in there.
No, I mean put the you put the normal one in as well.
Without the title, the thingy titles on.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have done that. Sure.
Minimums.
Oh, who's that in the group chat?
Oh, that was me. A minute ago.
Oh. Obviously had to walk here.
Yeah, that one.
Try again. Ah, that's better.
Yeah, there you go. That's more like it.
Right, I'm now going to press play.
Press save.
Oh, save. There you go, it's saved.
Bring everybody's faders down.
Right. Well, hello and welcome to episode number 538 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's thrilling show, we are all united in Spain. Ryanair have some saving money ideas, and what can you find in lost luggage? In the military, the RAF are saving money in a strange way, and the B-52s are back, and it's not at the Love Shack. So, joining me this week, he's back from his travels. It is, of course, Neville Bounds.
Yes, here I am back again after an absence for a couple of weeks, actually. Let me just think. I was on the Wednesday before last. I was at our office in Brighton with lots of customers. Very nice it was too. And then from Sunday of the last week, can't remember what weeks they were. I was in Barcelona with our company at the very big audiovisual show that we do, Integrated Systems Europe, a huge 4-day show in Barcelona, and very good it was too. And of course, on the Friday of last week, I retired from work. That was my last day at work, and then I flew back on Saturday morning. But the company put on a really nice do for the three of us, because the three of us were retiring at the same time, which was great. And they very kindly bought me a Concorde Silver Simulator experience down at Brooklands, which I should be doing on the 28th of March. Really looking forward to that. I did that quite a long time ago, nearly 10 years ago, I think it was. But I'm really looking forward to doing that again. Perhaps we could do a bit of a meet-up down there as well at the same time, if people are around that area. That might be an idea. But anyway, we'll come back to you about that later on. But yeah, it's been day 3 of retirement, so therefore I should really, with my gaffer tape, I should no longer be representing the company, so I'll just gaffer over the company logo, because I've been taken off the email system, the expenses system, everything.
Credit card's been shredded.
Well, I didn't have a company credit card, luckily. So that was it. Yeah, so it's all finished now. So I spent some of today down at the local garden centre having a latte and a bun. I'm very pleased to say, though, that I was the youngest person in the building by some margin, because that's what retirees seem to do down there. So, but yeah, a lot of fun over the last, 5.5 years with BIAMP, and then 46 years of working, which is doesn't bear thinking about really, but it's been absolutely amazing, and it will give me some more time to do aviation podcast interviews and stuff like that. So, but it's been a bit of a whirlwind over the last couple of weeks. So sorry that I wasn't around, but the work got their last pound of flesh out of me as well. So, but it was also a little bit emotional because on the final day of the show, up to about 20 people came onto our stand to wish me good luck for the future, which was very sweet of them. But I did feel the bottom lip wobbling a bit on 1 or 2 occasions. It was quite an emotional thing. So I've known these people for decades. So, but yeah, so that's what I've been up to over the last couple of weeks.
Not only that, Nev, you've been in the industry for quite a few years, haven't you?
Yes, it's too many, really, frankly. I can't put my customers through anymore. I mean, they've had enough. In fact, I think a lot of customers came onto our booth to make sure I was exited from the building. But it was very sweet of BIAMP to organise such a superb event for us on the Friday night. That was very, very memorable indeed. Saturday, we were all a bit tired by the time we got home. But some nice A320 Neo action on the way out and A319 on the way back in 1 Alpha, obviously. Had to be for my last flight. So that was it. Yeah, a very, very long career. And I'm very grateful to all of my employers and all my customers and suppliers and everything. But it's a new phase of life now. So we'll see what happens next.
Right, we're going to say hello to everyone who's joined us in the chat room, who thankfully have kept with us, even with the technical difficulties we had at the beginning of the show. Dirk S., hello to you. Captain Cruz, Richard Adams. We scroll down. Darren Smith, hello to you as well. Darren Smith commented on earlier, said this could be like the Two Ronnies sketch. Also joining us as well is Armando. He's in there. Well, he was earlier anyway. Richard E. Flagg, hello to you as well. Plane Safety Podcast, hello Pip. Mazoos, hello to Mazoos. Good to see you in there as well this week. Hobby Time, we've got... Owen was in there as well earlier. Hello, Owen. Nice to see you in there. We've also got Captain Cruz. Hello to you. Let me scroll down, make sure I don't miss anyone else. And Darren Smith, actually in the chat room, Nev, says, congratulations, Nev. Now go and buy some golf bats.
Well, I have actually got some in the wardrobe in the other bedroom, but I'm not a golfer. I'm really not. But I just bought a set of clubs just to play along with some of my chums at work, but with very limited success. So my colleague Sandra, who also retired at the same time, she's actually a very good golfer. I think she plays off about 12 or 13 or something, so not bad at all over near Kastrup Airport in Copenhagen. So but no, I'm going to be doing other things, I think. So we'll see how we go.
So we have got loads to get through on the show tonight, including some caption is just for fun, and also the retro airline ad of the week. 2 of those this week. A treat for you this week, Nev, as you've been away for a bit. But are you ready to do some commercial news, Nev?
I certainly am. I'm champing at the bit.
Oh, here we go.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt light. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
So the first story this week comes to us from Aviation.direct, and something I didn't realise until I found this story this week, actually. This shocked me. I don't know, I should know all these six things, but the headline, United Airlines is focusing on expanding its flights to Palma de Mallorca. Since 2022, I didn't know this, Nev. Where have I been? Since 2022, United Airlines has been offering seasonal non-stop flights from New York to Palma, with connections being particularly popular in the summer months. Palma de Mallorca, the capital of the island of the same name, has become a hotspot for international tourists in recent years, according to official statistics. Palma de Mallorca recorded more than 2,024 million passengers in 33. I think that was 33 million in 2024.
Yeah, I think so.
A slight error there with the editors here. An increasing amount of 12% compared to the pre-pandemic levels of 2019. The demand for direct flights from the USA, especially from the East Coast, is a clear indication of the growing interest in this Mediterranean destination. United Airlines is responding to this development with a decision to expand its seasonal connections from May to October this year. The airline are going to offer additional flights in addition to the current 3 times a week frequency, and extend the season by 1 month. This represents a 50% increase in capacity compared to the previous year. And Newark-Palma route the Newark to Palma route was launched back in 2022 and has since proven to be a success story for United Airlines. In the summer of 2024, the airline flew between the 2 cities with a Boeing 767-400, a long-haul aircraft particularly suitable for international connections. The flight takes around 7 hours and 45 minutes, my word, Nev, and covers a distance of around 3,935 miles. Despite the age of the aircraft used, the 767, which has been in service since 2002, the airline has said they are very satisfied with the performance of the aircraft, as it serves a stable demand on this route. Antonio de Toro, United Airlines sales manager in Spain, said the route is expected to continue to grow with increasing demand. In an interview with Mallorca Daily, or Mallorca Bulletin, he said that flights from Washington to Palma could be considered in the coming years to complement the existing service from Newark. The increase in frequency and introduction of new seasonal flights to other European destinations such as Rome, Munich, have also shown how successful such investment routes can be. And the story does go on. But Nev, I didn't honestly know. I'd never realised that a US airline flew direct from the USA to Palma de Mallorca.
Me neither. And clearly it's going to work for them, isn't it? Because if they're operating a 767, that's got a decent passenger capacity, and I think they'll do very well with it as well. And I think that's going to be a very popular destination, rather than having to fly through a major European hub airport like Madrid or Barcelona or something like that, and the ability to go to direct. So that's really good news. I'm impressed. As I say, I wasn't aware of that either. So yeah, sounds good, doesn't it?
No, if any of our listeners have done that route, gone from Newark to Palma de Mallorca, then let us know what it's like. Because for us people, for me and Nev, Palma de Mallorca, Nev, what's that? 2.5 hours?
About that, yes.
2.5 hour flight. It's bread and butter for us. But it just seems funny when you think of travelling that length of time just to go to Palma de Mallorca. But yeah. But the Americans do love it, though. Do love it, the Spanish hospitality, so I've heard.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. Lots of Americans in Barcelona last week as well. Not just the people that were working with us, but real tourists as well. So that was great.
Now, Nev, you've got the next story, and we're back onto that good old story we love to talk about in the show, all about drones getting in the way.
Oh dear, yes, this is from travelandtourworld.com, and it says that a British Airways jet narrowly avoided a catastrophic collision with a drone near London City Airport, coming within 10 feet in a terrifying near-miss incident. The BA aircraft narrowly avoided a catastrophic collision with the drone, and it was classified as a Category A event, indicating that there was a serious risk of a collision, according to official reports. The flight, operated by BA City Flyer regional carrier, was 4 nautical miles northwest of London when the alarming event occurred. The crew of the Embraer 190 aircraft reported spotting a lit object at 6:10 in the evening on October the 31st, whilst flying at an altitude of 3,000 feet, as confirmed by Thames radar controllers. In the UK, drone regulations prohibit flights above 400 feet, making this occurrence not only dangerous but also illegal. Despite notifying London City Airport's control tower and the police, the unidentified object was never located or officially identified. A report by the UK Airprox board highlighted the severity of the situation, stating that there was a definite risk of collision, and praised the pilots for their quick, instinctive response in avoiding disaster. There have been previous incidents as well, of course, and in January 2024, another BA flight carrying 180 passengers had a similarly close encounter with a drone over Kent. This aircraft was an A321, which had just departed Heathrow en route to Greece, when the drone came within 5 feet of its wing and 30 feet from the cockpit. Travelling at 250 knots and flying at 9,600 feet, the near miss was described by the UK Airprox board as one of the closest calls for a British Airways aircraft. Pilots reported the drone as shockingly close, further emphasising the growing risks posed by unauthorised drone operations near commercial air traffic. With incidents like these becoming more frequent, authorities are under increasing pressure to enforce stricter measures to protect air safety and to prevent future emergencies. As always, on these stories, we just say it's just a question of when, not if.
Yeah.
Do you think so, Carlos?
That is the thing now, Nev. We've how many years have we been talking about things like this happening across the world, including the UK, obviously?
Yeah.
And we always say, when is something going to happen? And we do. When is something like going to happen? Because it eventually, one day, it will affect an aircraft in a way that may end in an accident.
Yeah, and I don't know what more people can do, to be honest with you. There's the education thing seems to have had limited effect, there will be further instances of this, I'm sure, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's the thing of it is as well, Nev. I've said with the drones you can get. Obviously, the cheap ones, the small ones, that are quite small, but some of these more expensive ones, Nev, are bigger and slightly more robust in their build quality.
Well, also the altitude that they can fly at. I mean, the one in 2024 was the aircraft was at 9,600 feet, nearly flight level 100, and almost hit a drone, or the drone almost hit the aircraft. That's a very high altitude indeed, isn't it?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got a remote control helicopter. I fly in my warehouse at work, Nev, during my breaks, just for
Right.
But I have no issues with aircraft there.
Indeed,
obviously. But no, it is common sense, and obviously there are the regulations and stuff. There are a lot of regulations involved in owning and using properly a UAV. And obviously we know all about this, Nev, because we went to Dublin. Was it last year? Wasn't it last year we were in Dublin?
Yes, it was.
For the drone
Yeah.
summit, yeah.
Yep.
But hopefully, Nev, we won't be talking about this anymore on the show, and this is the last we'll hear of it. So there we go. Right, next story. This comes from chaviation.com. Nev, I think Mr. O'Leary's trying to save some money.
Yes, he always is.
Ryanair are to invest in in-house engine shops. Ryanair Holdings Chief Executive Michael O'Leary has revealed this week the company will invest up to $600 million to move its engine maintenance operations in-house over the next 5 to 10 years. Speaking to Aviation Week, he said the move made sense financially since the group has 200 engines in maintenance at any given time, and the number is only bound to increase with future fleet additions. He said, we do almost all our own airframe maintenance. He thinks with the supply changes and the challenges and only 2 providers, Pratt & Whitney and General Electric, we need to start repairing our own engines, he said. Adding that Ryanair is looking to announce the construction of its new engine shops in the next 12 months. According to the CEO, it may take 3 to 4 years thereafter to open them. One of the most likely ones is Western Europe and other Eastern Europe areas, and according to CH Aviation Fleet's data, Ryanair's in-house fleet consists of 116 737-8200 powered by CFM LEAP engines and 205 the 737-800s with the CFM 56 engines. And the group has an additional 15 737-800s with CFM engines on its Ryanair UK AOC. The subsidiary, Malta Air, they have another 133 737-800s with CFM 56 engines, as well as 43 Boeing 737-8-200s, or the MAX as we should call them really, with the LEAP engines. Other subsidiaries, Buzz in Poland, they've got the Dash 700 and 57 of the Dash 800s, all with CF56 powered engines. So, Nev, it's safe to say, I think this is a good move. I think if you have an airline such as Ryanair, where your fleet is all the same type of aircraft and pretty much all the same type of engine, to have your own in-house maintenance for the power plants rather than having to ship them out or have engineers come in or ferry flight them to somewhere else to have them, have the overhaul maintenance done, saves a few quid.
Yeah, and also it's the time aspect as well, isn't it? Of course, maybe with their own facility they can actually turn around things quicker, whereas if you've subcontracted it to somebody else, there might be a bit of a backlog as well. And obviously, engines not on the airframe, it's not earning money for the airline, is it? So I think that's definitely a good move. Massive investment, though, absolutely enormous, isn't it? So, interesting.
And more importantly, Nev, more jobs for people.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's a good thing. No, good to see that.
Yeah. Now, Nev, you've got the next story, and it's safe to say, Nev, we haven't had the best start to 2025, have we?
No, and this is one that's been covered extensively on YouTube by various people. It's on Forbes.com, and it's all about the plane crash in Arizona. Well, Scottsdale Airport in Arizona was closed on Monday afternoon after a business jet owned by Motley Crue singer Vince Neil, who was not on board, veered off the runway into a parked aircraft, killing 1 person and hospitalising 3 others in what appears to be the latest deadly aviation incident in the United States. The facts of the accident are as follows. It occurred around about 2:39 p.m. local time when a Learjet arriving from Austin, Texas, veered off the runway after landing and collided with a parked Gulfstream 200. Kelly Kuster, Scottsdale Airport's aviation planning and outreach coordinator, told reporters that it appears that the left main landing gear failed upon landing, resulting in the accident. According to Scottsdale Fire Department Captain Dave Folio, one person was killed in the incident and 3 others who were also injured, including 2 in a critical condition, were taken to local medical facilities. He said that the fire department was still working to recover the body of the person killed in the collision. Kuster said that the airport's runway will be closed for the foreseeable future, and the NTSB is taking over the investigation of the collision as of Monday evening. The Learjet that veered off the runway is owned by heavy metal band Motley Crue's lead singer Vince Neil, but Neil, as we said earlier, was not on board the aircraft at the time. The band's social media handles shared a statement from Neil's representative, who said that 2 pilots and 2 passengers were on board the Learjet at the time of the incident. Mr. Neil's thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved, and he is grateful for the critical aid of all of the first responders assisting today, the statement added. In a now deleted post accompanying the statement, the band had said that Vince's girlfriend and her friend were also on board the plane and suffered injuries, albeit not life-threatening. The deleted post also mentioned that the pilot of the plane was killed in the crash, and added Motley Crue will announce a way to help support of the family of the deceased pilot. Stand by for an announcement very soon, it says. I think as tragic as this is, I think another example of jumping to conclusions on social media does not help these situations at all. I mean, we don't know anything about the next of kin, whether they were informed or, there's too much information going on there in such a short space of time, I think. But nonetheless, what has happened has happened. And I don't know if you saw any video of it, Carlos, but...
I'll play it on there for you, Nev. It's on the screen now. There we go.
Yeah, it went into the Gulf Stream at a fair old rate of knots, didn't it? And fortunately, there was no post-accident fire, but it was pretty horrific to see it from that security camera footage, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think this is always the case when you have an issue like that with a gear, especially when you lose a gear one side, Nev, rather than losing both gear, where you can pretty much try and keep the aircraft in a kind of straight direction as such. But losing one main gear on one side does put a bit of an issue when trying to keep the aircraft straight. Even in that situation, it's tough anyway.
Yeah.
But sad when you lose someone or lose a pilot, especially on
Awful.
these things. But it's been a funny year, isn't it, Nev? We started the year with just so many incidents happening, and it just seems that every week so far since we started the new year, and as we're recording tonight, it's the 12th of February. There's just been every day there's an incident. There was one yesterday, I think it was somewhere in Africa somewhere. There was an incident. There was an aircraft that crashed. And there's been a few actually this week already, Nev. Minor incidents.
It's I don't know. You go for months and months and months without anything happening at all, then all these things tend to happen in quick succession, don't they? Very sad indeed.
Yeah. Right. Next story is coming to us from metro.co.uk, and American Airlines. Oh, I can't believe. Have you seen this story yet, Nev?
No, but you're just about to tell me about it as well.
So this is metro.co.uk. American Airlines flight delay because someone's very inappropriate Wi-Fi hotspot name. An American Airlines plane was delayed this week over a Wi-Fi hotspot mentioning bomb. Flight 2863 was preparing to depart Austin Bergstrom International Airport in Texas when a man showed a flight attendant something on his tablet. According to passenger Bruce Steen, who was 63, don't quite know why that matters, the flight attendant informed the cockpit and the pilot announced that the aircraft would be going back to the gate because of an administrative issue. Minutes later, the pilot said that somebody had renamed their hotspot on their phone, and Steen said, and the crew revealed it was, "There is a bomb on this flight." So that's the name of the hotspot. An Austin Police Department lieutenant came on board, declared, "If this is a joke, please raise your hand now, because we can deal with the practical joke differently if we have to do a full-blown investigation of what's going on here," he said. After no passengers came forward, police deplaned everyone in groups, said Steen, who was trying to head home to Charlotte, North Carolina. Passengers had to show their hotspots to authorities and hand their baggage to be sniffed by dogs. Authorities also checked the aircraft for explosives. All passengers and their checked baggage were rescreened, stated the TSA, and the transportation agency's taken bomb threats very seriously, the TSA added. The aircraft was cleared to depart for Charlotte at around 6:15 p.m. back on Friday, more than 4 hours after it was originally scheduled to depart. And other flights at the airport, airfield operations were not impacted. So, Nev, if you're going to rename your hotspot on your phone when you're about to board your BA flight to Malaga, I'm guessing that there is a bomb is not probably the thing you're going to write.
No, but the thing that's missing from this story, I think, is the person involved who did this may not necessarily be on the aircraft. They might be ground crew. They might be one of the tow truck fellas or girls. I mean, Wi-Fi is not limited to the plane, is it? So if they're using a hotspot and it's outside of the aircraft, then they'll never find the person. But nonetheless, that's not the right thing to do anyway, is it?
Perhaps, Nev, next time I fly, ridiculous. I'm going to rename the hotspot on my phone to upgrade me to business class.
Which, if you're flying Ryanair, won't be very helpful. But, you know. Anyway, you might be flying Ryanair in August, mightn't you?
Yes, I might be.
We'll talk about that.
Hello, wife. You all right?
Yeah.
Yes, I might be flying Ryanair in August because me and Nev are hopefully off to the Bray Air show. More info on that later. But talking about Ryanair, Nev, you've got the next story.
Yes, it's on the bristolpost.co.uk, and airlines, this is a list of airlines with the least legroom, and they are not necessarily Ryanair or EasyJet. Oh. Well, it can be disappointing to step onto the plane for that eagerly awaited holiday to find you don't have as much room as you would like. Comfort when flying is key for many, so it may be worth checking how much legroom you can expect ahead of booking. Some airlines offer more room than others, and consumer platform Which took it upon themselves to shed light on the situation in a survey conducted back in 2023. Why it's taken them 2 years to release the details of that, I don't know. But its experts compared the legroom and seat width on offer from 12 major short-haul carriers that fly from the UK, which measured each airline's seat pitch, or the distance from your seat to the one in front. Wizz Air and TUI had the least legroom, or smallest seat pitch, according to Which. And TAP Portugal and Jet2 were found to have mixed offerings, averaging from 28 to 31 inches, whilst EasyJet provided 29 inches of legroom. Ryanair had 30 inches. Seat width also came under scrutiny, typically around 17 inches across carriers. However, EasyJet, TAP Portugal and Lufthansa flyers can breathe a bit easier with the extra inch they provide, stretching to a more comfortable 18 inches between armrests, as reported by The Express. Now, do you want me to go through all the airlines that they list here with the seat pitch? I mean, perhaps we should. Wizz Air, 28 inches. TUI, 28 inches. Jet2, 28 to 31 inches. TAP Portugal, 28 to 31. EasyJet, 29. Vueling, 29 to 30. British Airways, 29 to 31. I think that's being a bit optimistic, to be honest with you, from what I saw the other day. Norwegian, also 29 to 31. KLM, 29 to 33 inches. Ryanair, 30. Lufthansa, 30 to 32. And Aer Lingus, 31 to 32. So
I'll tell you what,
time you get on board an aircraft, get your ruler out.
I tell you what has shocked me, Nev, right? And I've flown with EasyJet and Ryanair a number of times. a number of times, and BA as well, to be fair. But I always was under the impression that when I've flown with between EasyJet and Ryanair, that I felt that I had more room on the A320 with EasyJet. But according to this, the Ryanair 737s have a 30-inch pitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, perhaps I was wrong then.
Well, it's difficult to when it's only that much difference. It's difficult to work it out, isn't it? Really?
But what we can say from this story, though, Nev, is when you're flying to Ireland or Dublin or Cork or wherever, you're best to go with Aer Lingus with 31 to 32 inches.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right,
next story, and this is coming to us from thesun.co.uk, because we always love to have stories from the Sun. We always skip the page after number 2. Airlines launch new bunk beds in economy on long-haul flights next year. Now, this is an update on a story that we covered last year on the show. And this is flag carrier Air New Zealand is set to launch its long-awaited economy bunk beds next year, 6 years after it first came up with the idea. Getting to sleep on aircraft is never easy, unless you're obviously Neville Bounds flying in business class, where legroom and comfy chairs are hard to come by. But from next year, Air New Zealand hopes to introduce the world's first lie-flat sleep pods for here we go, economy passengers. You haven't got to fly business class, I know. Dubbed the Skynest, it's set to debut on the airline's 787 Dreamliners from early next year. The pods look like bunk beds used by flight attendants on long-haul flights or a bed in a capsule hotel. Each Skynest features 6 beds, with 3 beds stacked vertically on each side, designated area for the beds. A ladder sits in the middle of each stack, giving passengers easy access to the upper bunks, and passengers will get a 4-hour slot in which to stretch out and have a snooze and forget about the person in front reclining into their seat. A pillow is also provided, along with a sheet and a blanket, all of which are changed between passengers and are included in the price of each bed. Each bed will come with its own eye mask, earplugs, making it easier for those using the service to drift off to sleep. And the beds will each have separate reading lights, USB outlets, and a curtain for added privacy. Each Skynest bed will be available to book in 4-hour sessions during the flight and is limited to 1 passenger at a time. Oh. Passengers travelling in economy and premium economy will be able to book the Skynest. However, you ready, Nev? It won't be available for passengers travelling in business class. Air New Zealand initially hoped to introduce the Skynest back in September last year, but the launch was delayed. According to the AFAR, the retrofit is now underway, and the airline's bunk beds slated to appear on the 18-hour New York to Auckland flights from next year. There we go, Nev.
Right, lots of questions there. Question number 1, what happens at the 4-hour cut-off point? Does some kind of alarm go off, or does someone have to nudge you or physically remove you? Because I know lots of people, not me, sadly, but they go to sleep on these long-haul sectors and they're out for 6 hours minimum. So I don't know how you would actually get these people out of the bed again.
Can you see the picture we've got on the YouTube feed, Nev, of the...
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, I'd like to congratulate them on what looks like a Pantone 259 colour. But yes, I mean, all right. But I'd say how they're going to actually get people in and out of the thing in that 4-hour period. But no, I think trying to do new things, especially on long-haul sectors, is a good thing these days, isn't it? They're trying to come up with new ideas and what have you. So, no, I think it'll be interesting to see the results of it, won't it?
I'll tell you what, Nev, in the chat room, Richard Adams made a good point, actually, with that picture I just showed. Can't see any seatbelts.
No, good point, actually.
That is true.
Yeah, yes.
Also, Richard E. Flagg is saying in the chat room, there's also a lot of talk about Air New Zealand returning to London. I didn't realise Air New Zealand didn't fly to London.
No, that's right. I flew them once to where was I going? Las Vegas. So I flew them to Los Angeles, first of all on NZ001, I think it was. It's very comfortable, very nice service on the top deck of a 747 in the business class seat. Very pleasing.
Very posh, Nev. Very posh.
Yeah.
Right, Nev, you've got a bit of a purring story for the next one.
Oh, well, yeah. It's on the mirror.co.uk. A cheeky cat managed to sneak onto a Ryanair plane as it was preparing to take off, causing 2 days' worth of delays for passengers. Crew members could hear the mischievous Moggy meowing and called maintenance staff to the scene, where several panels from the Boeing 737 were removed to reveal the cat hiding inside the electrical bay. A photograph of the pesky tuxedo cat, which showed it peering out of its hiding place, was snapped by workers. The cat then caused further problems by deciding to run through the wiring of the plane. It meant that the flight had to be cancelled and several cargo panels were removed to track the animal, which kept moving around in an effort to stay on board. Eventually, the cat snuck out of the plane and made its own way down the stairs after a door was left open. An image was later taken of the animal walking across the runway. Probably not the runway, but probably the taxiway, I think. The Ryanair jet was preparing to leave the airport in Rome last week when the incident happened, and the plane was grounded for 2 whole days before it finally headed to Germany. A source said that the stowaway could have caused major problems at an altitude of 30,000 feet. Or any altitude, for that matter. They also said it could have been pretty costly, potentially setting the Irish airline back tens of thousands of pounds. The Mirror has contacted Ryanair for comment. Yes, the price of a wiring loom, or several wiring looms, is expensive, isn't it, I'd imagine? So
I was literally sitting here to myself thinking, I wonder what comments we'll get in the chat room for this. And well, Richard Adams is always there to address the situation. Says that it made a Cat 1 landing.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent.
I thought we'd have a few more there. We should have done a caption this, a caption this.
Catching this.
Oh dear, honestly, Nev. But it's one of those things that we see every now and again on the show, but they don't generally tend to get sort of inside that kind of part of the aircraft. You normally tend to see them in the flight. Well, it could have been an emotional support pet for the aircraft.
God, yes, could be. We hadn't thought of that.
It could be.
Oh dear. But you can imagine if they can't actually find it or persuade it to
Dreamies. That's the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an expensive delay there, isn't it, for the airline? Definitely.
One from Master of None says almost a catastrophic failure.
There you go.
Oh dear, we better move on. Right, last story. This is from theexpress.co.uk. Now, Nev, how often have you thought to yourself you'd like to possibly purchase some lost luggage to see if you could be a lucky winner?
Never, in fact. Okay. That's never crossed my mind. But this is an interesting story to listen to.
So, yeah, this is from The Express, as I said. The headline, I brought lost luggage from the airport. The contents floored me. Ever wonder what happens to lost luggage that's left at the airport? If the bag isn't claimed, some airports decide to sell it on. It gives bargain hunters the opportunity to get some great deals. The only drawback, they often won't know what's inside the suitcase until they've paid for them and opened them up. It really is a lucky dip. To see if it's worth buying them, a thrifty content creator called Becky snapped up one. She recently paid a princely fee of $129.99 for a suitcase of a lucky dipped unclaimed luggage and was able to get her hands on some valuables as a result. Explaining the process in more detail, Becky shared on her Instagram, apparently the airport do absolutely everything to track down the owners, she said, for months, but unfortunately sometimes the other options are to burn them, which isn't great for the environment, or remove any personal info inside. The bargain lover got a large suitcase from Undelivered, a company that gives the luggage and items inside a second life instead of throwing them away. A spokesperson for the company said, "Ever wonder what happens to undelivered parcels from major carriers? They don't just disappear either. The parcels are often containing valuable items and brand new items that for one reason or another couldn't reach their intended destination. And that's where we come in," he said. Other auction houses which sell unclaimed luggage and other lost properties include Greasby's in Tooting in London, Mulberry Bank and BVCA in Bristol. Becky decided to give it a go and see if it was worth it. She brought the lost luggage from London Heathrow Airport. So what did she find inside the case? So she got lucky. She managed to find a pair of sparkly Ugg boots, which I know are quite expensive. Nev's wondering what are Ugg boots. Some juicy couture sliders. I think that's some sort of footwear, I think. Sliders. Piles and piles of clothing. A number of Sheen parcels. Is that how you pronounce that name? Shine. Yeah. Don't use that. I'm a Temu man. And hair straighteners, always a bonus. But the big bonus, Nev, which considering she paid £129.99 for the case, she got a white iPad.
Wow!
So yeah, there we go. Nev, what do you think, Nev?
Well, it's a nice idea, but just imagine the clothing won't have been washed, will it? I mean, I'm thinking about when I came back from Barcelona, having had 6 days in Barcelona. And I deposited the contents of my suitcase into the other room here. It's not a great smell at all. It's pretty horrific. But as you can see from this example, things can be good. So you can get lucky.
Can you see the comment in the chat room, Nev, from Richard Adams?
I can, yes. And he says, you can make that more exciting. Purchase the random luggage airside, then gamble on what happens during customs. Now, I like that. That is a creative way of working and a lot of fun for the observer, not necessarily for the user.
Dirk S. says there are people putting iPads in the suitcases?
Well, yeah, exactly. Good point. But yes, I didn't quite get this, but several years ago I was coming back from Copenhagen. Unusually for me, I checked a bag because I had quite a lot of stuff with me. I came back to Terminal 5, just waiting as the carousel started up. And this lady saw my bag and she removed it from the carousel and started to walk towards the exit. And it was definitely my case, no question about it. And I thought, well, it's a bit rude to do the rugby tackle straight off, isn't it? You know, so I just went up to her. I'm very sorry. I think you've got my case. No, it's definitely mine, she says, as she continued to walk even faster towards the exit. I'm trying to catch up with her at this point. I'm going, no, that's really is my bag because it's got my label on it and blah, blah, blah. And she wasn't having any of it. Luckily for me, there were some customs people. This was when we were still in the EU, so we were going through the blue channel, the EU channel, and luckily some customs folks there saw that I was running after her, and they thought initially I was trying to steal her suitcase, but of course it was the other way around. So I had a little bit of explaining to do, but yes, she was taken into a room to have a discussion. But I was allowed to take my case once I'd identified what was in it as well. But that was a weird moment. But if you think about it, that could happen at any airport at any time, couldn't they? Someone just take somebody else's case off of the carousel.
Yeah, I always try. I've got me and Gemma have got a kind of matching suitcase ensemble. But I brought those the wraparound straps, Nev, that clip in, and they've kind of got your initials and weird and wonderful colours, so you can kind of tell a suitcase apart. But I know people who put the ribbons around the handles, all that kind of thing, to try and distinguish, because there are a lot of suitcases that do look very similar out there, especially the big players like Samsonite and stuff. But yeah. I think the way forward, Nev, is to always buy a garish coloured suitcase. Green, yes. Orange, that kind of thing. But Yeah. Or, like you, Nev, buy a Pele case.
Well, yes, having said that, there were a lot of Pele cases coming off of the Barcelona flight, because lots of people in our business, carry equipment in their Pele case. So there was quite a few of those on the carousel on Saturday morning when I left the flight. So, but, there we are.
Right, so that is where we bring the commercial news segment to a close. But we've got an exciting part coming up next. It's always a favourite of a few of the listeners, for sure. So, Nev, what we got next?
Well, it's the Retro Airline Ad of the Week, and this week it's a double bonus ad week where we head back, first of all, to 1982 to an airline that definitely served up some lovely looking food, and then we skip forward to 2004 to an airline that gave you double air miles and a smile.
Oh, we're a tad overbooked, but here's a voucher for a complimentary spring water.
Thank you.
Peanuts. Voucher.
Pillow?
Sorry, hon. Void after takeoff.
Water?
Just ran out.
At Alaska Airlines, we prefer to treat you right in the first place. That's the spirit of Alaska.
Nobody serves our republic like Republic. Nobody flies our country like we do. From sea to shining sea, where would you like to be? Nobody serves as many cities just for you. Nobody serves the people like Republic. With a small town smile and a big city style, Republic goes all the way for you. Nobody serves our republic like Republic.
There we go.
Wow.
What do you think of that, Nev? Did you see the meal at the end of that video? What was served up on that plate? It looks huge.
Yeah, those days are long gone, unfortunately. But that was when flying was a bit of a privilege, wasn't it? And a bit special. But some of that's just gone out the window now. It's a bit more, what's the word? Basic, shall we say?
Yeah.
But, no, good to see that stuff. Actually,
do you remember Republic, Nev?
I do, but I never flew on them. It was before I went to the US, so no, I never flew on Republic. But I couldn't remember what aircraft that was. That
DC-9.
Yeah, MD series
or MD series. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
It's so good. I love finding these, and I every now and again I go onto the tube of views and find some new ones on there to try and put in each week. But it is amazing how many of these adverts have survived, the course of time and are online now for you to look at, and how they were put together back then. Because they were advertising how wonderful the airlines were. But it's a shame because you don't see the airlines advertising on mainstream television like what they used to, especially not here in the UK, Nev.
No, that's. I was just thinking that the other day. Actually, when was the last time I saw any sort of adverts for mainline airlines, or even actually the low cost ones? I can't even remember. Oh, actually, there's some EasyJet ones running at the moment. I think in the UK, and a couple of Ryanair ones here and there. But yeah, it's nothing like the productions that they used to do back in the day, is it? It's very different now.
Very different now. Yeah, definitely. Right, Nev, it's time to do a bit of the old grey stuff. So,
yes,
if you are ready, shall we do some of that?
Let's do it. Yep.
Blast up bogies 13550, Angel 16, heading 340. Okay. 108 bogies.
And the first story this week comes to us from the RAF, or aerotime.aero. And this is all about the RAF. It returns retired Tornado jets into new parts for the Tempest fleet. So the RAF are obviously falling on hard times now. They're running up short of money. They need to recycle and reuse, because that's what it's all about these days, isn't it? So in what is being described as the first of its kind initiative for the RAF, individual parts from its retired fleet of Tornado fighter jets are being ground down and 3D printed into new components suitable for the UK's next generation of combat aircraft, to be known as the Tempest. The next generation fighter to be manufactured by the BAE Systems is due to enter service in 2035. The innovative recycling program, known as the Tornado 2 Tempest project, has seen parts from old Tornado aircrafts turn into powdered metal and used to 3D print new components suitable for the Tempest, according to an RAF statement. They said this is a great example of UK developing technology of the future and demonstrates the UK's defence industry as an engine for growth and a key part of the government's plan for change. The development can save the taxpayer money, well, it's always a good idea, Nev, reduce the UK's reliance on global supply chains of critical high-value metals, and produce components that are lighter, stronger and longer lasting than those made through traditional forging techniques, the statement adds. Many of the UK Ministry of Defence surplus assets contain strategic metals, including high-quality steel, aluminium and titanium, and the Tornado 2 Tempest project team has been identifying whether some of the components could be atomised into powders known as feedstock for additive manufacturing to make new parts. Tornado parts containing titanium, including jet engine compressor blades from low-pressure air compressors, were selected for a trial of the project and its feasibility. These blades were cleaned, atomised and recycled into a 3D printed nose cone and compressor blades by Additive Manufacturing Solutions Limited for Orpheus Rolls-Royce Small Engine Concepts, that is part of the UK Ministry of Defence Future Combat Air Systems programme, tasked to deliver Tempest in the next decade. The nose cone was fitted onto an Orpheus test engine and passed suitability and safety checks, which demonstrated the invested parties that the technique has potential used in the 6th generation jet. The project is being led by Defence Equipment and Support, Defence Recycling and Disposals team, in partnership with the MOD and FCAS team, Rolls-Royce and AMS based in Burscough, Lancashire. The initiative also led to the creation of 3 jobs and sustained 2 at AMS, and the business now expects to create 25 new jobs by offering the innovation to other suppliers. So I never thought I'd hear this happen, Nev. So basically grinding down pieces of old fighter jet to make new ones.
Well, that's a very good thing. I do wonder though about the cost of actually doing that. It's probably less expensive than buying a new one, I would imagine, with all the raw materials that you need for that. But of course, the RAF has always been used to a bit of a raid on its budget for many years now. So they are having to look at new ways of trying to save some money somewhere, and this is clearly goes a way towards that, doesn't it? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, I must say.
Yeah. Now, Nev, you've got the next story, and it's safe to say that Mr. Jonathan Warner has been rather excited this week.
Oh, yes, he will be. It's on the UK Aviation News, and it says that 2 Boeing B-52H Stratofortresses of the US Air Force have arrived at RAF Fairford in Gloucestershire for their latest deployment at the Strategic Airbase. The aircraft have been deployed from the 69th Bomb Squadron, who are based at Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota. Details of the deployment have not been released yet, but previous operations have seen the B-52s from Fairford take part in NATO exercises over the Baltic states and act as a show of force against Russian aggression in the region. The Boeing B-52H Stratofortress is a nuclear-capable long-range heavy bomber that has been in service with the US Air Force since 1955 and has been continually upgraded. Powered by 8 Pratt & Whitney TF33-P3/103 turbofans, the aircraft can carry a payload of 31,500 kilos, that's 31.5 tons, which can include bombs, missiles and mines. A mixed loadout can include 12 AGM-129 advanced cruise missiles, 20 AGM-86A air-launched cruise missiles, and 8 bombs. RAF Fairford is the US Air Force's heavy bomber deployment base in the UK and also operates as a base for the U-2 spy plane of the 99th Reconnaissance Squadron, which flies almost daily missions from the base. Yeah, seeing B-52 arrive and depart is quite something, isn't it, from Fairford?
Yeah, I think that Mr. Warner has... the camera keeps switching there. I think over the years, Mr. Warner has found some quite good spots at RAF Fairford where he can perch up with a step ladder and his rather large lens on his camera and take some great pictures of these.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? Yeah.
But, having been up close and personal, you can actually go and see one of these over at Duxford as well, can't you, Nev?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is always
fascinating. No, good to see it.
Yeah, good to see this. So we have got next part of the show to bring you, which is our Caption This Just for Fun pick of the week. I'm going to bring that up on the screen for those of you who may have... Here we go. Let me find the picture here somewhere. Where are we? Here we go. I found it. So we had a picture which we put up on our Facebook page this week for you to comment on. And for those of you watching in the world of YouTube, the picture is on the screen now. Nev, for the benefit of those listening in the audio world, what does this picture this week depict on here?
2 ladies hanging on to the leading edge slats of an aircraft whilst in flight. I think that's the summary of it, isn't it?
They're doing a good job as well, Nev,
on the wing,
to be fair.
Yes.
But kicking off this week, we had a few comments this week for the picture. Kevin William says, not what they expected when they booked the wing view seat on Ryanair.
Yes, very good. Jenny Parkinson says, are you sure this is what they meant when they told us to adopt the brace position?
John Luke Picard says, it's the last time I send you down the middle of the night to put the towels on the lounges. Very good, John Luke.
Our friend Mazuz Kareem, he says, I said initiate toga, not yoga.
I like that one. John Falk says, now let's try the downward facing dog yoga position. Sticking with the yoga.
Bob Cronman, my friend that I met over in Barcelona last week, says high-heeled shoes must be removed before boarding.
Very important, that. Our chat room friend Dirk says, you promised the views from up here were amazing. I can't see a damn thing and it's windy. I'm cold. Let's go home.
Ray Davis says, on a wing and a prayer. Budget Airlines.
Very true, Ray. Well done. Gordon Bennett says Ryanair's new wing surfing experience.
Neil Draper says the captain has put on the seatbelt sign as we're going through a bad patch of flatulence.
Definitely at that speed. Bob Harris says now we know why the tickets said kids go free. I like that one, Bob.
Yeah, I do. David Kavanagh says, let's just wing it.
And Darren Smith comes up with quite a topical one, Nev, from previous episodes. As Global Airlines takes to the air, their exclusive new Wing View Lounge gets an airing.
Oh, my word.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Darren. And thanks to everyone who contributed to our Caption This Just for Fun pick of the week. Now, Nev, have we got any in the chat room?
Let's have a look at the chat room. Let's see if I can find it. Let's... Richard Adams says, Wipeout. I don't know, that was...
surfing thing there, yeah.
Another comment, United introduces their ultra low cost flying called Economy Minus, which includes priority deboarding after landing or prior to at your leisure.
Darren Smith says, I can't find that damn pigeon. Oh, Dirk S has to top it off with that comment there, Nev.
Yes, Dirk says, we were just looking for that cat when the plane suddenly took off. That I think trumps all of them, doesn't it? That comment just on its own.
Honestly, brilliant. Thank you for that, everyone. And I will try and find a suitable picture for next week show. Hopefully online, I'll find something humorous. So Nev, you have been missing for a while, but you've been very busy, obviously. Winding up at the end of your long, awesome career within the AV business, but you've also been doing some flying as well, because you had to obviously fly to Barcelona, didn't you? So how was that?
It's the only way to do it. Yes, it was 1A on the way out on an A320neo, and the same on the way back on a elderly A319, formerly of British Midland. But actually, it was a nicely they've refitted some of the cabins on the ex-Midland aircraft, so they're really quite nice actually on the inside, which was nice. Very easy boarding from Barcelona to Heathrow. Excellent, no messing about. But of course, Heathrow to Barcelona is always a bit of a nightmare at Terminal 5, isn't it? But yes, but of course I'm still not looking for sympathy, but I'm still recovering from my broken leg, of course. So standing on it for many, many hours on the exhibition booth was a bit challenging at times, although we did have, I think, the best carpet, the thickest carpet in the whole of the exhibition area. And honestly, it makes a huge difference if you're standing on your feet every day. It's a 4-day show, plus all the stuff that goes on in the evenings as well. So it was a very full-on thing. But it was great to celebrate my departure, my retirement on the Friday with 2 of my colleagues as well. And we had a very nice bit of food and drink, and some nice presents were given to us all as well. So that was brilliant. But no, the flying was great. Funny enough, I'm doing some more flying next week actually. On Tuesday, I'm a bit short of a couple of tier points that I need to get gold for the next year. So I'm doing a quick whiz up and down to Edinburgh on Tuesday of next week.
Is that just for you? Just literally going to go up there, take some pictures, and then come back?
I'm being irresponsible. Yes, I'm getting on a plane, not really going anywhere, and coming back again. And then. And then at the end, or towards the end of February, Sue and I are going on a Finnair A350-900 to Helsinki for 3 days, I think it is. Love that aircraft. Absolutely love it. It's so quiet. But of course, it's probably about -4 or 5 in Helsinki at the moment, and a bit slippery. So I probably need to be a bit careful, having just fallen over on the ice in late November. So, and then that's all the flying done probably until Gran Canaria in September, I think. So yeah.
And how are things at Heathrow now, Nev? Obviously, you utilised the lounges before you flew out.
Yes, I did.
Had I read somewhere they'd updated, or they'd done some kind of updating with the lounge?
Not exactly. No. It's still a bit chaotic, unfortunately. But I think because BA changing the rules of all the tier points and what you can earn, probably the year after next, it's going to get a lot quieter because people will just not be anywhere near sort of the gold or even silver status in some cases. So unless they bought a business class ticket, they won't be able to use the lounge at all. So yeah, it's different, or will be different, and of course be very different for me because I won't be flying anywhere near as much. Just the odd flight here and there for the podcast or for leisure.
So the question is, Nev, is obviously you're doing this flight to boost up your points to keep your gold status. So now obviously you're now retiring, you're living life's eternal dream now in retirement. How long are you going to be able to maintain your level of status with BA now?
Oh, definitely not. No, absolutely not. And I think what will happen when I finish the tier points year, as it's called, at the end of March. I'll have with this flight I'm doing to Edinburgh plus the Finnair one, because they're a one world partner with BA. That'll be enough points to give me gold for another year, and then that'll be it. And then I shall plummet like a stone after that.
So where do you go from there?
Well, they say, and I'll believe it when I say it, you get a bit of a soft landing into the silver status. But talking to Captain Al the other day, he's gone from gold to bronze or blue, I think it is, in no time at all. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But I think the days of maintaining your status with BA are are very, very long gone. Yeah. And actually, just talking to the crew about it, I think some of them are quite embarrassed about it as well, because they're getting quite a lot of abuse from the passengers. It's not their fault. But also, a number of crew were telling me the other day, of course, they fly deadheading, or sometimes flying themselves on sectors where they're earning points as well. So all the points that they could now or used to be able to get, they won't be able to get in the future as well. But yeah, it's quite a thing, and a lot of people are going, well, we're fed up with that now, so we're going to go down the Air France or KLM route. One of my colleagues that I used to work with lives in York, so he will be flying from Humberside to Schiphol, and then on to wherever he's got to go to. So BA lose all that business, because previously he would go from Manchester to Heathrow and then on to the US. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens, whether it has a big effect on revenue. And this is what it's all about, really, but we will see. But no, it will affect me drastically, that's for sure. It will not be the same experience it has been over the last few years, that's for sure.
But at least you get to keep it for another year, Nev.
Yeah, another year. So end of March 2026 is when I finally hang up my gold badge.
Which is when, according to Darren's in the chat room, Darren Smith says you'll be heading for seat 31A.
This is not a seat I recognise, I'm afraid. So I'm going to have to get used to it. So yes.
Oh dear.
It's been a lot of fun flying up at the front. And I can still do that if I buy a business class ticket, obviously. But of course, some of those ones right at the front are often reserved for gold card holders anyway. So,
all right, okay.
I won't even be getting those. So we'll have to see.
What a shame. Well. It was good fun, Nev. You've definitely had a lot of fun in the years with the flying, and we've definitely enjoyed hearing your stories as well about your travel as well. But hopefully you'll still keep at least 1 or 2 flights a year in the book.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah.
Right, so we are going to start to wrap things up. We started late tonight, as those of you in the world of YouTube will know, because we had a few technical issues at the start of the show. But we are off to some air shows this year. We will be heading off in June. Get your pens and pencils ready if you're listening to the show. Grab a pen and pencil. We're off to Duxford Summer Air Show on June the 21st this year. We're going to make that one of our meetups again, like we normally do each year at Duxford, so we're looking forward to that. Should be good. We're also going to hopefully this year go to the Shuttleworth Summer Air Show, which is in July, on the 26th of July, because we've not been there before. It'd be nice to go to the Shuttleworth collection. Lovely museum there as well. Also this year, as me and Nev were talking about before we went live tonight as well, me and Nev are heading off somewhere in August, aren't we, Nev?
We are. 2nd of August, we're going to the Bray Air Show, and our chum Alan White suggested we might want to go there, so we're going to be doing that. And I'm going to take the car, I think, on the ferry this time, so a bit easier to take all the gear across, but also be a nice chance for Sue to come over with me, and we'll do some driving around Ireland for a couple of days afterwards as well. But so the Bray Air Show is on Saturday the 2nd of August. Looking forward to that very much.
Looking forward to that. I'm going to have to get my flights booked up soon, Nev,
yeah.
I think, with the good old Ryanair boys and girls. I'll get that done. I might fly BA. I'll see what this after the other week's eye-opening experience booking the flights to Malta. I might just see, who is the best price for that, because it might be BA. You never know. We'll have to see. So that'll be the 2nd of August. We're there off to Bray, me and Nev, and also in where are we here? There's September, so we're going to looking at the 20th of September this year. So plenty of time to put this in their diaries. We're going to have our meet-up, hopefully, at Beccles again, like we did last year. So we're going to have a big meet-up at Beccles, have some food, have some drink, watch some great aircraft flying in and out of the airfield there as well. So that'll be our P2K summer meet-up, or end of summer meet-up on the 20th of September over at Beccles Airfield, which is literally just across the field that way, not far away from us. So looking forward to that as well. But we might try and whittle some other little bits and pieces in between then. Nev, I think we've got a few ideas. Me and Nev are going to hopefully try and get to visit some of the great museums that we have around the area here, do some filming as well for some of you who may not have the chance to visit some of the museums we've got around here, one of which is the 100th Bomb Group Museum, which is over at Thorpe Abbott's, that featured on the Masters of the Air series on Apple TV. Nev, you'll be pleased to know, on Apple. So we'll hopefully get some footage from there this year as well, which will be fun. But yeah. Right, Nev. Right, let's wrap up the show while everything's still working correctly. Nev, where can our beautiful listeners find us on social media?
Yes, on the socials, it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Just search those platforms for Plane Talking UK. You can email us at the show, podcast@planetalkinguk.com. And our website is www.planetalkinguk.com. Obviously, you can subscribe to our YouTube channels as well. And you'll find you'll be able to get notifications there when we go live. And you can join us in the chat room, which a lot of people have as well tonight. So thank you very much indeed. Just go to youtube.com and search for Plane Talking UK. You can become a Patreon of the show as well. So that means that helps us with some studio bits and pieces, replacement of cables, the media hosting costs, website hosting costs, that kind of thing. Details about Patreon and PayPal methods of donating to the organisation are on our website, planetalkinguk.com.
Yes, and we really do appreciate your help in bringing the show to you each week, which is what you do. You help us to do what we do each week, and with a bit of tech help as well from some of the team as well tonight as well. Thanks to Matt Smith for jumping in and pressing a few buttons for us, which got us on air, which is always good. But we'll be back next week, won't we? Know you joining us back with us next week?
Yes, I should be back next Wednesday. Yep. And
Excellent.
now I haven't got work to do, basically. So yeah. Funnily enough.
I bet it gave you great pleasure to pick up your iPhone and swipe that alarm the little thing across. So
that's the thing. Although, of course, the trouble is when you've been working for as long as I have, it's sort of burnt into your head about what time to get up. So even if you don't have to get up early, like tomorrow, for example, there's a little thing inside my head that says, right, you must get up. We've got all this to do and that to do. But of course I haven't. I've got some things to do, but not work related. And of course your whole working life revolves around the clock, doesn't it? In terms of what time you've got to get to the airport or the train station or to see a customer in the car. I haven't got to do that anymore. So it'll be very different, I have to say.
Well, I want to say, Nev, congratulations on your retirement. From us and all the team and all the chat room as well, no doubt. Congratulations on your retirement, and long may the Pinot Grigio flow for your evenings from now on, and the fine caviar continue.
Oh well, yes. I mean, if only the pension will run to that. But one things I have got to do is to lose some weight. So I'm going to be joining Mrs. Nev on swimming on a Thursday, and she's going to go to Keep Fit on. She goes to Keep Fit on a Friday, so I'll be joining her from March onwards for that as well. So those company lunches and dinners that I've had over the last 5.5 years have been very nice indeed, but they have taken their toll on my weight, unfortunately. So I'm now going to be sorting that out and getting back to a more normal weight, hopefully.
Now, before we wrap up, Nev, Richard E. Flag in the chat room says, congratulations, Nev. We miss the we'll miss the Seat 1A stories. Also, Dirk S. says in the chat room, Nev, you can now start collecting aircraft parts.
There you go. Well, you see, you've taught me all I need to know about how to do that. So, yes, I should be looking down the plane reclaimers website and all the rest of them to see what's around. Yeah.
Right, that's it then. I'm going to let you wrap up the show, Nev, so I can press all the right buttons. But thanks to everyone who's tuned into the show tonight. Thanks for sticking with us with the slight technical difficulty we had at the start of the show. But thank you to everyone who's joined us in the chat room tonight as well. And also a big thanks to everyone who downloads the show as an audio podcast each week. We really do appreciate you doing that. And don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email. We'd all love to hear from you. And send us a voice message. That'd be nice as well. But yeah. So thanks to everyone again, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Nev, over to you to close the show.
Yeah, thanks very much to everybody for your very kind words on my retirement. And yeah, I've really enjoyed all the work, but now it's time for a bit of a rest. But in the meantime, we'll be back on Wednesday, 7 o'clock UK time next week. Bye for now.
And there we are.
Yes, that was a rather challenging start.
That was a challenging show.
My word.
Oh, my word. Honestly. Oh, dear. What a challenging show.
There was stuff going on that was just abnormal, wasn't it? There was no explanation. I mean, Matt fixed, the things that we needed him to fix, but there was other weird stuff going on, which I couldn't explain at all.
Very strange. Very strange. But thanks, everyone, again in the chat room for sticking with us. Much appreciated. I haven't brought any more plane parts as well. I've sort of, we're in the process of looking for a new house. We're selling our house and buying a new one. So I've been told that I can't purchase any more aircraft parts, which is kind of sad because obviously the 75s are being parted out at the moment. So, yeah. Although I might have a look later and see if there's anything. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'd get the house first if I was you.
Yeah.
That don't turn up in the new place with an APU or something in the back of your car.
I know.
That wouldn't be great. Well, it would be great, but I think Gemma might have something to say about that.
Dirk S in the chat room now says, I can't even imagine not having to go to work anymore.
No, I couldn't either. I mean, I've been thinking about this for 2 years now, really. So it's not come as a sudden shock. But yeah, it will take getting used to. And Sue's been retired a year now, and it took her a few months to get in the swing of it. I mean, she's very pleased that she did, but yeah, it's going to be different, very different. So I've just got to get my head around the new thing, the new way of working or not working, in my case.
Yeah, you'll get to that point now, Nev. Things will just start to be so more relaxed, and it'll be tea rooms, garden centres on a Sunday, and yeah.
Well, that's not a bad thing, but that's not going to help my waistline, is it? But well, it might do as long as I go to the gym or go to the swimming pool, but yeah, it's going to be a very different experience from now on. That's for sure.
Richard E. Flagg, you are a bad influence. Order the bits and send them to the work address.
Oh, what a good idea.
No, honestly, Richard E. Flagg, you are terrible, terrible. Although that is a good idea.
Yeah, I'm liking the sound of that. Yeah. Interesting. Yes.
Right. Well, I'm gonna start to shut things down now, and we're going to get away. But thanks again to everyone for joining us tonight. As always, be it much appreciated to you all for joining us and sticking with us. So yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have more of the team here next week. Fingers crossed, all being well. And we won't have any technical issues. So that'll be how good things are. But Nev, would you like to say a final goodbye to our glorious chat room before we...
Yes, I would. And thanks, everybody, for sticking with us tonight, despite the initial difficulties that we had at the start of the show. But yeah, been great to see everybody in the chat room again. Thank you very much indeed. Have a great rest of the week and the weekend. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.